back, Mentees, to Near Mint Condition, a channel where you can be part of a positive, honest community and lay claim to some comic book knowledge. I'm your host, the Astonishing Melanie. It's a snow day today. So I thought, let's review Moon Knight for a Snow Day Edition video. Stay tuned. That's right. If you don't know, I'm back teaching English 8th grade since October. Now that I've gotten a little bit used to it, I'm starting to get my passion back. But today's a snow day and I'm really happy and I'm like, oh, I've got time to make a video. So this morning I read Moon Knight, The Midnight Mission by MacKay, Alessandro Cappuccio, and Rochelle Rosenberg. Thanks to the fine folks at Marvel and David Gabriel who sent us the advanced copy. It's coming out February the 15th and it collects Moon Knight from 2021 issues 1 through 6. This is a great place to start with reading Moon Knight. In fact, I picked it from our pile because I've never read Moon Knight. And I've heard a couple of things about him, how he has DID, dissociative identity disorder, that I've become, interested in learning more about. Just a heads up, in this, these first 6 issues, it mentions his DID, but it's not part of the story. I'm sure it will be in the future. So this is a good start to get to know the Mark Spector personality, the base personality, I hope I'm using the right terminology, of what he has gone through in the past, especially since what was the last year and a half ago, he went against the Avengers in order to serve his god and tried to take over the world, but he's atoning for his sins now with the Midnight Mission. With his origin story, it's really simple. He was a mercenary. He was a bad guy that did bad things in terms of going to other countries as a soldier and killing people. He dies at the foot of the statue of Khonshu, this Egyptian god of the moon, and the god's like, I'll bring you back if you serve me and protect those that travel at night. And he's like, okay. But now with his Midnight Mission, he is a priest figure of sorts that just wants to help the people. He's like, I have a sacred duty. I don't worship or talk to Khonshu anymore. I'm the fist of Khonshu. I'm my own identity. I'm gonna go help people with this Midnight Mission. So spoiler free here at the beginning I'm just going to talk about issue 1 and then I'll give a warning for spoilers as I go through issues 2 through 6, and you can hit the timestamp to skip those spoilers if you wish to do so. I love the logo of Moon Knight with that crescent moon shape. It's really cool. Oh my gosh, I love all of the moon motif things because I love silver crescent moons. Steve McNiven and Frank DeMarta do the covers here, and I really like Steve McNiven's art. Yeah, I love how the outlines of the figures are kind of blurred because everything is so intricate and detailed around. There's the silhouette, or the outline, that there's a lot to look at. I like it. The end. Okay, so here we have Mr. Knight. And he looks really cool with his white tuxedo and gloves, and when he rolls them up later, that looks really cool. I love how Cappuccio has these lines that are not sketchy, but they flow, that it looks like it's not quite complete. I love the effect that gives to this figure that is dressed in all white. You need that shadow there, that mystery element to him as well, the menacing element. I also like when vampires die that their skulls are going off. I don't know where. That's pretty cool. And of course you got the obligatory when a superhero says his name or her name, that it is a really cool design to their words. Mr. Knight is talking to a therapist that the Avengers are like, hey, let me help you out. You need a therapist. The clones of vermin are attacking and eating people, and I'm so proud of myself. I was like, that looks like Vermin from Spider-Man, who I never liked, but I liked his backstory, but he was just so gross. And I was right, yes. Okay, it's clones of vermin. He's doing his threatening thing, being all cool. Oh, there we go with the whole moon cape that's completely impossible, and it's so gorgeous. Here we have 8-Ball begging Moon Knight not to cut off his face, so mentioning before how he would carve moons into people's faces. We got this mysterious doctor dude that's like, I don't like you. You're not a good fist of Khonshu. So this doctor dude is definitely going to be a driving force later, set up as to him being like a foil. Like, I don't agree with how you're doing things. And in the cult of Khonshu, you're not above me. So yeah, he's going to come back. Okay, and in issue 1, we have mention of his dissociative identity disorder, splitting his personality into different factors because of his drama, that those personalities are helping to his brain to deal with what he has been through and choices that he's made. He mentions that while talking to the therapist, his brain is broken, and she's saying that you've met a god, your brain has physically changed. Yeah, you've got some issues. Oh, okay, so at the end of issue 1, good, this isn't a spoiler that I was saying the Doctor comes back in a big way. Yeah, he is the other fist of Khonshu. I love it. Later he was like, even men have 2 fists, so why wouldn't a god have 2 fists? And I was like, oh, that's a really good point. Thanks, Jen MacKay. And we've got Hunter's Moon, and him being a full moon, that he knows what's up. He is a true fist. So now that you've got a taste of the art and how the story's set up, if you'd like to skip spoilers, go ahead and hit the timestamp for the end of this video. In issue 2, we have a guy by the name of Soldier, which I dig it. It's pretty cool when he was like, you know, it's okay, Soldier. Little bit of character development for Reese and what she's going through her change as a vampire, and that she can't help out this guy who's a soldier who's bleeding because she's way too tempted to lick the blood off her gloves. Mr. Knight goes to help Soldier because his mom and a bunch of elderly people attacked him, so they go to the building where they all live and trying to figure out what it does. This custodian, can control people with his sweat, and he put it in the water, and then Mr. Knight was like, you think you can control my brain? Here, let's give it a try. Nope, he goes into his dark, horrible place in his brain, totally freaks him out, and I hate to compare him to Batman, but I do, because this is my first time reading, and that's what I know. So, I'm sure there are many differences. It's that same kind of feeling. Can I say that? This video is a review of a Marvel book that they sent us. Please don't hate me, Marvel. In issue 3, we have Mr. Knight talking to his therapist with Reese, a little bit more character development with the relationship. And then Hunter's Moon attacks, so we get this awesome fight between the two. And I like the way the fight is set up. It's easy to follow without being boring. I could tell from panel to panel. And of course, Hunter's Moon being Moon Knight's foil, you've got this great conversation going while they're fighting about how you're not being good enough as the fist. It bothers me. In issue 4, MacKay delves into the reason why Mr. Knight persona, he's always wearing his mask. You don't get to see Mark Spector, and he's like, because I don't want to see myself, which makes a lot of sense, right? He hates himself. He hates who he is. Why would he mentions, of course I have dissociative identity disorder. I don't want to be Mark Spector. However, Tigra shows up, his friend from West Coast Avengers, and he does at the end show her his face, that he feels like, you know, he confides in her what he's going through. Oh, and I like at the end how he points out, Moon Knight, that the day starts at midnight, that the day has to work through the darkness in order to earn the right to shine. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. All right, issue 5, the cover is a huge hint. Chains come into play later in the story. So we've got this sweet, innocent Terry, and he's like, Soldier used to be in Hydra, and he's the one that's trying to screw with your life. So he goes, checks it out. The story does check out. So Moon Knight goes to talk to Soldier's mom. And we don't see the conversation, but it is nighttime, and because it's Moon Knight, I'm assuming that like it's like, you know, late at night, like maybe 11. And the mom's baked cupcakes or muffins. So yeah, Soldier's mom bakes muffins at 11 o'clock at night. Good for her. So here's a twist. Guess what? Terry's not sweet and innocent. Soldier is chained up. Terry threatening throughout the whole ordeal that the bomb's gonna go off. And Moon Knight does save Soldier. Terry shows up, and of course now his face is crazy, and he puts on a mask. I'm Zodiac. And he's got this lock chain necklace, so that'll be interesting to see what that's all about. And finally, in issue 6, we have Hunter's Moon saving Moon Knight because Reese begged on his behalf. And I thought that was really neat. The Hunter's Moon like, no, I don't like you, I don't respect you, but we're both fists of Khonshu, so you're my brother. And he talks about, right, Moon Knight talks about killing his own brother, so that's really cool that they have, or I'm sorry, that MacKay created a replacement kind of for him. The Midnight Mission, the building has been destroyed, but Mr. Knight takes a seat and declares, I'm Moon Knight, I'm not going anywhere. He's going to continue his mission of ministering and protecting his flock, the people who travel at night. This book is an easy read. It's a page turner that the story has depth to it. You don't get lost in it though. I really like Hunter's Moon. I love that foil that's going to be played there. I'm sure they'll get into more fights and they'll help each other out. That's a interesting dynamic. You know, who's Terry and why is his name Zodiac? And like I said, the character of Moon Knight, Cappuccio's lines in there, that is a really neat touch. Definitely makes him, I feel like, stand out from other superheroes and how they're drawn. And a shout out to Rosenberg as well for these colors that you can, you've got to use the colors to differentiate and define where muscles are in the suit of black and white. You know what I'm saying? Again, I love the action in it. I love the choreography of the fights. And I like Moon Knight. First time I read it, but I like his character. It seems that, I don't know that much about him, but it seems that in the past he was a total jerk, but substitute jerk was something else. And here that he's that more dark, angsty, like I've got to atone for my sins and he's still got healing to go through, that's my kind of character. So if that interests you as well, I recommend picking up this book. I told myself and my husband, the Uncanny Omar, that I'm stopping rating stories with numbers because I don't want to quantify the value of somebody's creation. So there! Even though everybody else on YouTube does it, and he said that's why I have to do it as well. Don't tell him I told you. The story's good. Check it out. Even if you know Moon Knight, I'm thinking that you would still enjoy it as well. It's like another chapter in his life. Thank you all so much for watching my Snow Day edition. I've got time to make a video review of Moon Knight, the 2021 collection of issues 1 through 6, coming out February 15th. Thank you all so much for your support. Just hitting that like button really helps with YouTube recommending us to others. Really appreciate watch throughs. And if you'd like to support the channel in any other ways, check out Patreon, the Spread Shop, and as always, stay minty. Wanted to show off a couple post-it notes that one of my students drew of me and Omar. I want to show it here because you're not going to be able to see it way back on the bookshelf. So aren't they awesome? So thank you so much, my student.